Hey everybody, I'm Michelle with Birdie Bloom and I'm bringing you another bag that I am letting go of. She was never in my own collection, but I did have a lot of pride in having her and I really haven't talked about her. And right before I was going to ship her, I realized I hadn't talked about her. So I need to do that because she is a beauty and desirable bag, not a cheap bag. We're going to talk about why. But this is the Saddle Bag Large, style number 9210. And there is a smaller version, style 9205. It was a Saddle Bag Small. These bags are from the 70s and potentially, they were in a catalog photo in 1980. It's just not a really great catalog copy, but that is the last sighting I saw of the duo of the Saddle Bag Large and Saddle Bag Small. And I do really quickly want to mention that if you just search Vintage Coach Saddle Bag, you're going to find a lot of different bags pop up. People use that term a lot. And in fact, I've talked about it before. Style 9988 was also a saddle bag that was made much later. That was the crescent bag in the 70s and then kind of had a little bit of style change and became a saddle bag. Again, another desirable bag, both styles, maybe more so in the 70s, but you'll see a lot of that when you search for this bag. This bag doesn't pop up often. It does seem like it was made at least in 74 and possibly earlier. Don't have access to photos, catalog photos for that. And you know these bags are not dated. So 74, 75, 76, and then if I saw it in 1980, probably 77, 78, 79. That actually is a lot of years, but they are from the 70s. They're not, they've been around for a while. But they have that thick, chewy leather. You will see some of these with the Coach metal tag. This one has a creed. I'll show you here. They're all going to be made in New York City because they were made in the 70s and potentially, or in 1980, right? So let's talk a little bit more about it. Here's a catalog photo from 74. It's actually not really that great of a photo of the small and then the large. They seem to keep the same style number. In 1975 though, here's a catalog photo, it has both of them in it. You will see that the Saddle Bag Small states to have come in Rough-Out. I don't know off the top of my head, sorry I didn't do the research for this video. I'm not sure if the large came in a Rough-Out. I am picturing what I have seen in the past, and it can be hard to tell if a bag is a Saddle Bag Small or large just from a photo, unless somebody's wearing it. But there is a potential for Rough-Out in both versions, definitely in the small. That catalog photo is from 75. And this beautiful 76 catalog picture, this will give you dimensions here. You can see the 9205 small saddle bag was 9 by 8 by 3. And then the 9210 large saddle bag was 13 by 10 by 3. And that is this beauty. And she is quite large. She looks really large on the camera. I wouldn't say that I feel that way in person, but not as large. But we're gonna try her on. So again, last sighting was 1980. This is probably later 70s, possibly 1980. This one was made. And this, I don't know if it's technically navy blue or if it was another blue, but the blue, and I don't think it's gonna come through on this video. I mean, this looks pretty navy blue here, but in person, this bag is so blue, especially in the light, if it catches the sun. It is just so blue, and I describe it as this like cerulean blue, which was my favorite crayon growing up, cerulean blue. I could be wrong, but I don't think you can appreciate that as much in this video. So, not with my type of, filming or my equipment. Oh my gosh. I'm not sure if I actually technically ever tried her on and looked at it, but oh, I'm sad I'm letting her go. I'll tell you that. That is so nice. She hugs so well to the side of your body. Oh, I love her size and her shape. She feels really good. Strap is really, I have it on the longest length. Again, I'm 5'7", so I don't think I would crossbody this one. I'll do it just to show you. You know, it comes right under my boob. Not gonna do that, I wouldn't do that. But she's got a pretty thick strap, so she sits well on the shoulder. Oh, she is so lovely. And she has no hardware on the front. She has these thick buckles and rivets, but she doesn't have any hardware. She's this beautiful, beautiful thick flap. Oh, her leather is just to die for. And inside she has this back pocket that goes along the length of the wall. And there's no zipper or anything. And then just a nice big cavity in there. See? No pockets on the back. I'll show you her back. She's so pretty. And I'm gonna show you her little bottom seam there. So I do wanna just mention this because it was kind of talked about in another group recently. Somebody was finding that they had like some sort of coloring stuff on some of the bags that they had purchased, and they definitely did have them on some. And then she brought out a red saddle bag. I don't know if it was a small or large, but she brought one of these, and it was a Coach metal tag. And she showed what she was getting just by conditioning, and there was a lot of color lift. Some people believe that it was in fact colored. I do not. I don't believe that it was at all, because I will tell you that these bags from that era, not just the saddle bags, just this leather, it can bleed a lot, especially if the bag is dry. Or if it hasn't even been handled much, because you don't get that like coating of oils and greases and whatnot on it. They bleed. And I'm gonna show you a picture here. This is of me conditioning just with this little circle here, circle pad, the whole bag. I did the whole bag with it. So it was a lot of going over. But this is like what I would call a transparent color. So when you're getting like a shoe cream or shoe polish or something artificial coloring your bag, it's more dense, it's darker, it's not transparent. It's definitely, yeah, that's all I can say. It's deeper, yeah. So even though this is like a lot of color, it's a lot of blue, right? But it's not deep and dark. It's transparent, how I would describe it. Now it adds the more you would, go over it in certain areas. But like if I were to just have done it with, one swipe, you would just see how transparent it is. So it's just the bag. It's very saturated. And that in return means that if you have like dry piping or discolored piping, that comes back so well because of how these bags were dyed and how they were made and the type of leather. And their leather, it's different. It is different than the side pack I showed not long ago from the 90s. It's a totally different leather. It's one of my favorites though, one of my personal favorites. I love the older New York City leather. Love it. So anyways, just because you get some sort of coloring, I know I'm all about like not coloring your bag and checking for it and removing it if it's there. I know I'm all about that. But I don't mean to frighten people and having them think that any type of color coming on to your rag, if you're conditioning it, is artificial, because it's not necessarily. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, here she is, this beautiful, beautiful saddle bag. Oh, let me just show you her hang tag with her little square top and her beautiful raw backing. She's so pretty. Oh, she's pretty. I'm typically heavy brass cleaner person, but this one wore so well. There's no verdigris on it. The patina on the brass, I just thought really complimented this bag and the blue. So I actually left this be. I did do like a mild cleaning as far as just like with a wipe, but I did not go to town on brightening that up. Oh, and then I also want to show you this, guys. Solid brass on this hardware. If you've been following Vintage Coach at all, that might be concerning to you. You might think, oh no, there's solid brass on the hardware. And it should be concerning a lot of the times, but there are exceptions, and that would be for your older New York City 70s bags. I'm not positive when they stopped, but definitely in the 70s had solid brass on the hardware. And then there are some other, I can't get into it, there are some other styles that for whatever reason brought in a hardware that had solid brass that are authentic, but for the most part, a lot of counterfeiters put that on. You'll see it on brass hardware. You'll also see it on silver, nickel, or silver type hardware. It's not necessarily nickel. On counterfeits, you'll see solid brass imprinted on the silver hardware, which I think is funny, but that can all be seen. Anyways, it's just letting you know it's not always a bad thing, and in this case, it's not. So, okay. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna end it by just putting her back on my shoulder. Might be the last time I ever get one of these. Oh, she is pretty. And I hope the person who decided to get her will love her. So I think it's a birthday gift for herself. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more Vintage Coach bag talks, and also join my Facebook group, Vintage Coach Eye Candy, if you wanna see pictures of other Coach bags, the collections of others, what they do with their collections. I mean, there's so many different things you can do, but that whole group is geared towards Vintage Coach Eye Candy, so come join. All right, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.